This is a sample chapter from Fitton Books. The Life and Times of Charlie Diaper, Chapter 8, Club Max, Front Street, Prince William, New Hampshire, April 8th, 8:30 p.m. With a cell phone at his ear, Jones walked from his Jeep toward Club Max's bright pink neon front entrance. "Franny, I just got off the line with Billy Bobcat."
"Billy Bobcat,"
said Franny. Jones tilted his head back and laughed. "No, it's serious. He claims he's uncovered information on the Logbook scandal."
"You know how much of a prevaricator Billy is."
"I know, but I have to check it out. If it helps Coco, wherever he is."
"Just keep your eyes peeled at the club, Coach. You already said people are following you."
Jones lingered near the front door. The cooler air prompted him to zip up his jacket. "I'm checking with Bruno first."
"Bucky came up to my house."
"He's been calling my phone all afternoon."
"You're not going to like what he said."
"What?"
"He wants you to pay his legal bills for the Fenway fiasco."
"The only thing I'll pay for is the firing squad." Franny chuckled as she spoke.
"Bucky thinks that Hamilton has left him a fortune."
"I'm surprised there wasn't cash in Hamilton's casket," said Jones. "I know one thing, Ham and PJ don't get along. Ham does everything he can to avoid PJ. I'll call you, Franny, if it's before midnight."
"Stay safe."
Jones stepped into the pounding music. He'd only gone a few steps when Bruno, away from his bartending duties, caught sight of Jones from Coco's rear office. The dark-haired Bruno waved Jones back. Jones moved along the bar to the office beyond the folding doors. "Jonesy," said the deep-voiced Bruno as he closed the doors, "where is he?" "I thought you'd tell me, Bruno." "I don't know where the hell he is, and neither does anyone else. This is not good, Jonesy." "What are the possibilities?" "Vegas. That's where his old man is. Or he's somehow connected with the boss." "Where's Charlie?" "Who knows?" Jones winced. "Come on, Bruno, don't BS me." "I ain't saying nothing. There've been all sorts of dudes roaming around the club. They're tailing me and probably you. When I talked to Coco at the Yellow Dog, I can see he knows the Logbook scandal from A to Z." "Yeah, he does. Never meant anything because Fiore ran it all. No one was investigating nothing. If only Charlie DiPiero hadn't developed dementia." Bruno moved over to Coco's desk and opened the drawer. He pulled out a silver-framed 8x10 photo of a dark-haired man dressed in a perfectly tailored navy suit and a younger Coco with no gray hair and slightly thinner. Coco wore a white tie and black shirt. "Coco is Johnny Stefani's son, and Charlie DiPiero did work for Johnny 25 years ago. I doubt Johnny even knows Charlie's problem. If I were Coco, that's where I'd go, Vegas. Fiore won't mess with Johnny. Billy Bobcat is supposed to meet me in here shortly. He may have more information." "That jerk. Bobcat was a regular in here before he left for Florida." Bruno pointed at Jones. "Jonesy, you tell Bobcat Fiore isn't going to sit back and let him uncover the scam." "I know that. Bernie Newman has been Coco's accountant for 15 years. Bernie's looking very carefully as to how the money was lost in the scam." Folding doors opened and the gray-haired Bernie Newman stuck his head inside. Bruno gave Bernie the high sign. Bernie looked at Jones. "Jonesy, you take my advice. Go back to Hamilton and coach your team. The whole thing is becoming dangerous as hell." "Where's Coco?" "I'll say no more." "Hurry up, Bernie," said Bruno. "Jonesy, go have yourself a drink." Billy gallivanted into Club Max around 10:30. He wore a denim jacket and a rounded undershirt. Jones made his way forward as BB smiled from behind the bar. He immediately stepped up to the bar and ordered a Boston swasher from the blonde-haired BB. "Hello, Jonesy," said BB, opening the tap. "BB," he said, smiling. "I hear you're engaged," she said, pulling back the tap. "You heard correctly." "Shame," she said as she smiled at Jones. "Drop me a line if you get unengaged. You'll be the first to know." Her brown eyes beamed and she slid the mug to Billy. Jones turned to Billy, who had already begun to gulp the beer. "Well, Mr. Billy, you've been busy." "Mac says to say hello." "Mac? No surprise, he's talking to me after we slaughtered St. Pat's." 20 runs is a slaughter," said Billy, looking around. "Coco upgraded the club. It was a real kick being with him again." Hate to tell you, Billy, but Coco isn't exactly your friend. Billy shook his head and lit a cigarette. You split from Fenway with Coco. If you ask me, I think you and he are walking a fine line, Buster. Where is his Uncle Dulio? Get this straight, Billy. I'm not part of your story. Dulio was like a train playing for Notre Dame. He'd burst through the line and kick ass. You must have a way to call Coco. Coco's not stupid. He's not going to leave numbers. Look, Fiore is very uneasy about what Coco knows, said Jones. Billy lifted the mug while keeping the cigarette in his mouth. He knows how to clam up. Men like Fiore don't take chances, Billy. It always has to be in his favor. Like the Logbook scandal. Billy snuffed out his cigarette in the empty glass mug. This is about the only place left in Prince William where you can have a smoke. You know, this is a good story. I may look into this. Back off, Billy. Not so fast, Coach. Will your paper even let you investigate this? Billy's World of Sports. I'm on Channel 5 in Pembroke Springs for a nightly report. Oh, so you're a big deal. Billy had tiny gray teeth. Just doing my job. Let me run this by you. How can they be hiding the demented Charlie DePiero from Homeland Security and everyone else? Unless he's not demented, said Jones. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I made a few phone calls. One of them was to the Boston South Rehab and Transition, BSRT. While I can't get the actual medical records, I got an official statement from an administrator calling long distance, a Dr. Spitzer. Charlie DePiero is suffering from advancing dementia and they ship him out somewhere. He was released to his son, Joey DePiero, in New Jersey. I talked to DePiero Jr. He said Charlie had been placed in a long-term facility, but he told me to mind my own business when I asked where. Well, what did you expect him to say? It's none of your business. There are hundreds of facilities in a radius around New Jersey. Right. Then he tells me he wants to hide Charlie from Fiore, said Billy as he signaled Beebe for another drink. Billy lit a cigarette with a flared lighter and stared ahead in thought. Somebody sent Miller to you, because you'd run with it. You think it's linked to Charlie DePiero? Asked Jones. That Jones is a big unknown. We can change the subject, said Jones. Okay, so I hear they're having a wild party for Larson at the Quonset hut. Friday night. You hate Lark. All you can drink. Then he stared ahead. I do believe I'll be busy for that one, said Jones. Billy stroked his chin. This logbook thing is becoming very interesting. You don't have anything, Billy. You're a piece of work is what you are. Beebe slid the beer to Billy. It's all up here, said Billy, pointing to his head. Yeah, I hear the echoes, Billy. Billy kept the mug to his lips as he spoke and drank. You just don't want me to go after the leads. Sure, when they're valid, said Jones, looking at Billy's lips on the mug. You think you were married to that mug. Charlie was against the scam because it was too risky. How do you know that? Asked Jones. He thought there were too many people involved, said Billy. Jones raised his index finger. That leaves it to chance that somebody rats out the scammers. You a private investigator? No, my dad was an investigator and I've worked with the state police and FBI. Billy kept his lips to the mug. Fiore was a lieutenant. He rose from heavy-handed collection jobs and actual killing, according to my source. Then you've been making calls. What do you think I am, some kind of crackpot? Well, that's another story. Look, I know Fiore personally through Coco. He calls me Matt instead of Matthias. I knew he was a tough customer, but killer? It's Coco's old man. It's Johnny Stefani of Vegas fame. I know, Johnny was friends with Charlie. Johnny's a very big deal, said Billy, setting down the empty mug. Channel Z out of Las Vegas. Does Johnny have anything to do with Channel Z? Billy shook his head. Biff Johnson and Willard Wilkie, connected to people in St. Louis and indirectly to Fiore. I'm not sure how Johnson and Wilkie were connected to delay certain broadcasts, but that's not important. Coco was the messenger sent by Charlie to inform Fiore to shut down the local scamming via the bookies of information being delayed. Charlie flew to Vegas with Coco to inform Johnson and Wilkie to shut it down years ago. I'm not sure how Johnson and Wilkie were convinced to delay certain broadcasts, but that's not important. Coco was the messenger sent by Charlie to inform Fiore to shut down the local scamming via the bookies of all that information being delayed. But Johnny Stefani, you said he's powerful. They don't step on one another's territories unless... Unless what? Billy spoke through cigarette smoke. Unless somebody gets killed. Jones stroked his chin. Something's not right with this Charlie DePiro thing, the dementia. What do you call it? Your side road theory? I'm going to talk to one of the chemistry professors at the college. I wonder if you can cause somebody to have dementia. Yeah, that's a stretch there, Buster Brown. Is it? I'm just an old sports beat reporter dealing with wins and losses and stats and heroes. Same as the mob, Billy.